What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy CP, and today we're back with a brand new video. As you can tell from my Cowboys gear, my Cowboys blanket, and CeeDee Lamb jersey in the back, we're going to be doing a Cowboys discussion video. I haven't done one in a while, mainly because I was at basic training and AIT from July to December. Yeah, the end of December. And I also had a month where I was home. Well, not even a month, like 2.5, 3 weeks. I was home for the holidays. Then I got to my duty station. There's just been busy ever since. But as you guys know, I've been still trying to create videos for you guys, even with my Army schedule. But yeah, it's kind of hard. But like I said, I'm still going to do this for y'all because y'all show me so much love over the last 2.5 years. I've been doing this YouTube thing. So I'm just thankful, and I feel blessed that y'all have given me the support over these 2.5 years, going on 3. And I finally have over 1K. So that was something I was pushing for a very, very long time. And y'all know how important that was to me. So I just want to take this minute to say thank you to not just my friends and family who watch my videos consistently, but to all of you viewers out there that have subscribed, that have liked my videos, that commented, and just shown love. You, even that, every single video to me, I just feel the love and appreciation. So, but anyway, we're gonna be doing a Cowboys discussion. So, as you guys know, the NFL season starts the official season starts in September, but preseason for the Cowboys at least is about a week and a half away. So, and like I said, football season it's coming up, but slowly but surely. So, the reason why I want to talk about, because training camp recently started. This is going on their 3rd week of training camp. So, as what they've seen so far, I want to talk to you guys about that. I wanted to put in my input, what I think we need to do to be successful, and just ways I feel like if we stick with a good game plan and we stay consistent, I feel like we can be in the promised lands. But first things first, record predictions. So record predictions are a little bit harder now because with that extra game, now it's like, okay, they can get this record, however, they can still miss the playoffs, or they can have a bad record but still make it in the playoffs. So, so a lot of people, I don't know why I almost said teams, but a lot of people predict the Cowboys being about a 8 to 12 win team. And me personally, I feel like that's a good estimate. So I'm gonna go with 10-7. That's just my prediction of it. I feel like if we can get our defense healthy and a better scheme than what we have with Mike Nolan, because he literally ruined our defense. But if we get a nice, good run defense, because in 2018 we were a top 10 scoring defense too. So if we can get our defense to that 2018 form, I feel like we'll be in good shape. So I say 10-7, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and this is just my opinion. Y'all are probably gonna hate me for this or think I'm crazy. I feel like we will beat either the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who just won the Super Bowl, or the Kansas City Chiefs, which has been one of the hottest teams over the past few seasons. I do not think we're going to beat both of them, but I do believe we could beat at least one of them. And if we beat either one of those guys, like that will shock the entire NFL. Like, Cowboys beat the Chiefs, or the Cowboys beat the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. All right, they try to make some noises here, and that's what I want. So that's why. Oh, let me straighten out my shirt. Looking a little crazy. So, yeah, let me just show you. I was looking a little lazy, but anyway, like I said, if we can beat the Chiefs or the Buccaneers, I feel, like I said, that can really be a tone setter for this season. Granted, the Chiefs game is a little bit later in the season, but like I said, we can really make some noise and be like, I want fans, analysts, anyone who looks at football, but like, Cowboys just beat the Chiefs or the Cowboys just beat the Buccaneers. They something serious, because not only that, it can give our team so much momentum. We can build off of that victory, and that can make us better in the long run. So next thing I want to talk about is training camp. Training camp has been going on for 2 weeks now. They're going into their third week. So first thing I feel like I should bring up, Dak Prescott. Earlier last week, he left practice early, saying that he was feeling some soreness in the shoulder to the point where he felt like, it kind of hurts to throw, which is kind of makes sense because you got to take into account since he was injured and he tried to throw, but he couldn't do as much as he wanted to because of that ankle. So now that he's back in training camp, trying to go full speed, it may be a little bit hard on his body, but it's still doable. So, I will say this: that shoulder injury, they already said it's a minor strain. He'll probably only miss first week and maybe the second week of preseason, which I would want him to miss anyway, even if it was fully healthy, because I don't want thing I don't get, why would you put your starters in early in the preseason? Because if you put them in early in the preseason, then they could get hurt. So I'd rather them get their reps in those last 2 preseason games, where, like, granted, all preseason games don't matter, but like it's also for repetition, just to get you a feel for the game, because like you've been off for 6-7 months. Well, I don't say off, but you haven't done any official games in 6 or 7 months. So that's one of the reasons for preseason. So, like I said, just let Dak rest and do not overwork him, because if you overwork him, he might get injured again. But, however, and knock on wood, if Dak were to get hurt again, I don't think we would be in too bad of a spot, because Garrett Gilbert has actually been playing very well when he had to take over for Dak. So I'm confident in him. I feel like he still can make some noise. Granted, he is an older QB. He's well over 30. But he still knows how to play. So, and he proved himself in that Steelers game. Granted, we lost that game. However, the defense kind of lost it for him, because we had like a good 2-possession lead, and they gave that up. So if they hadn't given that game up, I said that defense, they hadn't given up those points, then it's a completely different game. All right, next thing I want to talk about is Amari Cooper. I don't want to keep this whole video isn't going to be about injuries, but as a lot of you know, he had ankle surgery right after the season. They're saying like, okay, he's got to take it slow, which is why you haven't really seen him in any real training camp videos, because I know y'all see it, because I know every time I open Instagram, Twitter, sometimes Snapchat, it's always CeeDee Lamb making a great catch, or Trayvon Diggs making a good play on the ball, or whatever the case may be, but you don't really see Amari Cooper. And like, I think the reason for that is because they're trying to rest him up for the regular season, so he might not even play the entire preseason, and then just be like, okay, week 1, like, we need you to be ready to go. So, however, there is a bright side. So, like I said, CeeDee Lamb, he's been making all these plays. He's been making some big catches, and he kind of reminds me of a prime Dez Bryant. And like this, it's kind of a little bit biased, but it's realistic at the same time, because he's been running like a lot of reps on the outside instead of being just that slot receiver. And when he's on the outside, he's making these huge catches. The same way Dez would go up and get it, he would go up and get it. And it's like he's turning those 50-50 jump balls into more of a 70-30, where he's 70. So that's what I'm really excited. I think we'll use CeeDee Lamb more on the outside, and just to switch it up with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, because honestly, our receiving core is top 3. So if you got those 3 guys anywhere on the field, you can make some big plays. Because now it's like, okay, try to put Amari Cooper in double coverage, try to shut down CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup's 1-on-1. And Michael Gallup knows how to go up and get the ball too. So, if you ask me, we're in good shape for this next season. So, speaking of the season, I want to say this: for us to actually make the playoffs, we got to get Zeke the ball. Now, the first thing y'all gonna say, oh, Zeke was fumbling a lot. Zeke was washed up. Zeke is this, that, and the third. Zeke is still a top 10 back. The fact that he, even with a bad O-line, he put over 900 rushing yards says that, hey, I can still do it. Yes, he had the fumbles, but that's stuff that can be cleaned up. Why didn't he try to clean it up over the regular season? Beats me. But I know his rookie year, he had a bit of a fumbling problem because he fumbled in the second game 2 times. And then what they did afterwards, they had gotten this football, and like when you hold it high, it starts making like this little noise. So they needed to get him doing those drills, work on more ball security for him if you're really that concerned about it. Me, I'm not too concerned about it. Like, yeah, he shouldn't be fumbling, but at the same time, it's like, look, it's something that can be cleaned up. It's not like, oh, he's not as fast as he used to be, or he's not as strong. No. And plus, they're saying Zeke has lost a lot of weight over the offseason. So, which means he's going to be able to move a lot shiftier than what he's been in past seasons. So, we'll see. Because he said, this is the lightest I've been since I was in college. So, I'm excited to see that. Now, I think, going back to CeeDee Lamb, I think he can have a breakout year. Because if you go look at the film from week 1 to week 5, right before Prescott got hurt, Lamb was on a pace for 1,000 yards, and he still got really close. I believe he had 800 or 900. So the fact that you had a bad quarterback and you're getting real close to 1,000 yards says that you can be a really good receiver in this league. So that's what I think. So he's my top candidate for being the breakout player for our team. Now, Michael Gallup, this is his contract year, so he has to prove. I don't want to say he has to prove himself, but he does have to do well this season, because if he gets hurt, and again, knock on wood, I don't want him to. If he gets hurt, or if he just has a down year, or he doesn't make a difference, then I don't know. Because the issue with that is, I want to see Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper on the field for the rest of their careers. I want those to be like the big three of the Cowboys receiving corps for at least another 5 to 10 years. Well, not 10 years, because Amari Cooper probably retire well for that. But at least for like another 5 years, that should be our receiving corps. Now, with that being said, there might be less targets for Michael Gallup. And I say that because, like I said, CeeDee Lamb has been going off in training camp. He was kind of Dak's number 1 option, because he was getting him involved when he wanted to. So, and not to say that Michael Gallup isn't good, or that he never was good, because he really was, but a lot of people on social media, like I'll see TikToks and they'll be like, oh, the best receiver duos, and when they always list Amari Cooper, they always say CeeDee Lamb, even though CeeDee Lamb is technically the number 3 receiver. But there have been some talks like, hey, maybe he should have Michael Gallup be the slot receiver. Michael Gallup is too tall and I'll put it to you this way. He's not built like a slot receiver. He's built like an outside receiver. Granted, they're all around the same size, but I feel like CeeDee Lamb being the slot receiver is just the way it should be, because he had the most catches out of any of these rookie receivers out of the slot than anyone else. So this kind of goes back to one of those situations where it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I'll be talking about more of that upcoming in a minute. So I don't feel like it's fair to really say that CeeDee Lamb and Mark Cooper are 1 and 2. Now, granted, he can be Dak's number 1 and 2 option in that order, but that doesn't mean being the number 2 does not mean, oh, you're the number 2 on the depth chart. Being the number 2 means you're like okay, my best guy is covered. I'm gonna look for this guy. So that's go back to 2014. Tony Love throwing to Dez, but if Dez wasn't open, he's likely gonna throw to Witten. If he's not throwing to Witten or Dez, he's throwing to Cole Beasley. So it's kind of like that. That's what I'm trying to get across. Next, we want to talk about defense. First thing I want to bring up, Jaylon Smith. If he wants to prove the doubters wrong, because I lost track how many times I've heard even Cowboys fans try to say he's bad. I'm like, if you look at the film, you can see that he is playing his ass off. Like, because he put up over 140 tackles. I believe he was tied for third this season. But apparently everybody wants to say he had a bad year. No, the defense as a whole had a bad year. But Jaylon Smith, you cannot say he had a bad year. So, shout out to Jaylon Smith if you're watching this video. I doubt it, but who knows. Maybe one day I'll get that famous. And then NFL players will watch my videos. But, yeah, like I said, because Mike Nolan, he put him to right outside linebacker. And what's crazy is last year when Madden 21 came out and I saw Jaylon Smith was a right outside linebacker, I thought there was something wrong with the game. I thought they did that for some weird reason. Because you guys got to take into account. I was at basic training. I really didn't have any... I couldn't play Madden. I couldn't keep up with any updates. Like, no, I was just focused on Army stuff 24/7. So, I didn't know that Mike Nolan switched Leighton Vander Esch and Jaylon Smith's position. I was talking about him too much. But, like I said, move James Smith back to middle linebacker. Move Leighton Vander Esch to right outside linebacker. Because that's what he was doing 2018, 2019. He was that right outside linebacker. This week we drafted him because we wanted late LVE, Jaylon Smith, Sean Lee. Sean Lee just retired. We drafted Michael Parsons. So I think the smartest thing to do is have Michael Parsons take that Sean Lee spot where he's the left outside linebacker. He can be one of those nickel linebackers with Jaylon Smith or Leighton Vander Esch. And like also with the amount of defensive players that we drafted, that's also going to help keep Leighton Vander Esch and Jaylon Smith healthy, because now like if they need a breather or like, hey coach, I need a few plays. All right, Michael Parsons comes in, and it's like they never left. But look, if it was possible to get Jaylon Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, Michael Parsons, Jabril Cox, all four of those guys on the field at once, I'd be like, all for it, let's go. However, that's not gonna be a good matchup wise, because granted, yeah, you could run a 3-4, but guess what we ran last year? A 3-4. We couldn't stop the run. We got more sacks, but we could not stop the run, and that's the problem with the 3-4. It's more so for getting your linebackers more sacks and getting outside pressure versus playing the 4-3 where that stops the run. And if you have athletic linebackers, you can actually cover those tight ends and those slot receivers with your linebackers. But I said in the video last year that the way for us to succeed is to stop trying to use linebackers to cover slot receivers, because we've been doing that for a while and it's just not working, because it's a mismatch, and it's just common sense to tell you, look, if it's not working, then you need to change it up. So that's one of the reasons why I like Jordan Lewis so much, because he can cover any of those receivers, whether it's a number one receiver playing the slot on a certain play, or if it's any of those really good slot receivers. So, granted, I'm not in control of the Cowboys, so I can't. The only time I control the Cowboys is when I'm doing connected franchise mode. But I'm hoping my thinking is what Mike McCarthy's thinking, what Jerry Jones is thinking, what Dan Quinn is thinking. But I don't know, man. We'll see. But speaking of Dan Quinn, he said that he's been really impressed with the way Jaylon Smith has been at practice. So, like I said, I think Jaylon Smith is going to have a great season. Nah, I truly believe that. All right, so I'm going to move on from talking about individual players and just talk about the team as a whole. So here are my three main keys for us winning games. Giving Zeke the ball, like I said earlier. You give Zeke the ball and he has a healthy O-line, we're going to be great. Because you got to remember, Tyron Smith got hurt early in the season, out for the year. Lyle Collins got hurt in the season, out for the majority of the year. Zach Martin, he got hurt a few times, came back, but he got a third injury, and then he was just like, man, I can't do this for the rest of the year. So they placed him on IR. Those are our three main guys that are playing on our offensive line. So without them, our run game is going to struggle. So we didn't have good enough depth, is what I'm trying to say. We need to have some guys that aren't going to just come in and just be great, but we need them to be serviceable. Because without them, like our team struggled. And it's not just Dak Prescott that his injury that hurt our team was the fact that our O-line got hurt. And also remember, last year there was no preseason. So, one, you couldn't have the best roster available because you had nothing to go off of. And two, those guys didn't have any real practice. So, it was kind of hard to do. And like I'm pretty sure most of last offseason was online anyway, so like they did a lot of stuff via Zoom before they did any like social distancing or any contact type of thing. So that probably hurt our team too. So like I say, get to eat the ball, keeping the not even just keeping the O line healthy, keeping the whole team healthy. So look, if certain guys need to rotate out at any point in time, I'd rather you rotate out and make sure you're healthy, because they say sometimes your best ability is your availability. So that's something that we need to work on. And like I said, just having stronger depth, not just at the offensive line, but across the entire the roster. But we will see. And like I said, this season's going to be very exciting. I feel like we need to switch to a better defensive scheme when it comes to covering the pass. Because what I've noticed we try to do a lot is try to do like a lot of cover 3. And that's good to defend the pass, but you're allowing a lot of stuff underneath. So I feel like we should switch to a cover 2. Or not even just switch. We can still have that as our defense, but we need to just call more cover 2. I mean that by cover 2 zone, not cover 2 man. Granted, we can call that too, but I don't think we're quite there yet because we don't have our number 1 corner. So, like I said, just kind of switch it up with different coverages. But I know coverage is kind of matched up base, so it's going to be difficult. And final thing I want to close this out with, there have been talks about Xavier Howard coming to Dallas via trade. Miami's looking to trade him. I believe he had, last year he had 10 interceptions, which is great. But at the same time, the whole thing's like, why were they throwing to his direction that much? So that's why I'm kind of iffy. I'm like, is Xavier Howard really that good? Or is he just good at picking off the pass? So I haven't watched his film. I haven't watched any of his highlights, so I can't really put too much input in it. But I mean, granted, you could just make a great play, or you could be shadowing him, but at the same time, like, why is he getting thrown at so much? So that's just some things you gotta look at. So, but do I think Xavier Howard's gonna come to the Cowboys? I'm gonna be real. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's gonna happen, you guys. Like I'm just gonna keep it 100. You guys, I don't see it happening. But hey, maybe we sign a free agent. We just signed a new corner. I forget his name. I think his last name is Brown, but I'm not 100% sure. But who knows? Maybe Jerry will pull the trigger. Nobody expected us to trade for Amari Cooper, but we ended up doing it anyway. So crazier things to happen. But that's just, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. So comment below. Do you think Xavier Howard will come to the Dallas Cowboys? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you leave a like. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys next Sunday.